Hey everybody, welcome back. This is my first video in 2024, so I'm so excited to start this new year. I'm going to start off this year with a collection that came out last month, and this is the Essie Gel Couture Be Dazzled collection. I got this collection on Amazon, and there was only 4 polishes, and so I was like, oh, I guess I'll wait on the other 2, but then one of you mentioned that it is a 4 polish collection, which totally makes sense, and so I decided to hurry and do a review for it so you guys could see it. So there's only 4 polishes in this collection, and usually they have 6 or sometimes 9, so that was kind of interesting. Piper, come here. Come say hi. What are you whining about? Do you want to go outside? And go outside? Just gotta wait a minute, okay? I'm almost done. She loves to give me these little head hugs like this. It's so cute. She's so sweet. She's so sweet. Okay, I know we've got to wait though. Okay, hop down. Oh. Say hi to everybody. Here, sit. Sorry. Okay, get down. You're awkward. Okay. Those long legs, they just get in the way. Anyway, this is an amazing line from Essie. It's a 2-step line. It came out in 2016. I think it was one of the first 2-step application lines that came out. It's like a long wear polish, and I really can get it to last so long on my nails using that 2-step system. I really do love the top coat. It's long lasting. I do wish it was a little more plump, but 90% of the time when I wear Essie Gel Couture, I wear that top coat that goes with it, and sometimes I wear my favorite top coat, Glisten and Glow, but I just think it works so well with the polishes. So before we get started, I'm going to talk about what I'm wearing on my nails, and my last video that I put up was my favorites of 2023, and it's a really good one. If you haven't watched it, go check it out. Lots of great polishes in there. I did my top 10 and a countdown to my favorite number 1, and I talked about and mentioned my favorites for 2022, but it made me want to put one of those polishes on, and this is actually my favorite from last year. This is Morgan Taylor Tailored for You. It's a beautiful darker blue, but not too dark, and it's perfect for this time of year, and I love it for fall too, and I just love it so much. It's one of my favorite polishes, obviously because it was my favorite last year, but it is kind of hard to find. I was able to find that Walmart does have the entire collection available. I do believe I also found this in a duo with the Gelish brand, so the gel polish at Walmart as well, so I'll try to link those down below. I think it's worth getting that whole collection. I believe it was like around $33 for the entire collection, 6 polishes, and that whole collection was really great. So if you really want this one, which I think you should, it's just so good, it might be worth getting. On my lips I have this Buxom Plump Shop lip gloss in Lingerie, and I love it. It's kind of a more cool toned pink. And then I will link down my sweater. I just wanted a classic cream sweater for winter this year to wear with jeans, and I just love this one. Let's get into the collection. Like I mentioned before, there's only 4 polishes, and we're going to start with this light green one here. This is a beautiful light green, and it's called Bling It, and it's a beautiful sage, and I was surprised to find that it was pretty sheer. So it is different than what Essie has. They've been coming out with a lot of these sage greens, which I'm not mad about at all. I was kind of excited when I first saw it in the bottle because I was like, oh, it looks like turquoise and Caicos, so I thought it'd maybe have a better formula, but it's actually pretty close to that formula. I do not like the formula in that one, but somehow with this wider brush it's a little bit better, but I kind of think I would have preferred it to be more opaque. Piper's trying to come in. I've had so many interruptions in my day today. Oh, hang on. Okay, so anyway, it's gonna take like 2 or 3 coats to build this one up, but it's meant to be a little more sheer. This one also does have that subtle shimmer that a lot of these Essie Gel Couture polishes do, and honestly, I think that's why they last a little bit longer, just because those particles adhere to your nail a little bit more. I actually really like that about them, and so let's get into those comparisons. So I compared it to Essie Gel Couture Bring Down the House, and that one's lighter, and it has even more shimmer in that one, and then turquoise and Caicos, like I mentioned, is almost exact, and that does not have this subtle shimmer in it, but this shimmer is just barely noticeable. And then I also compared it to Not So Natural, and that one's more opaque and darker. The thing I want to say about these sheers though, you want to do thinner coats because with this polish sometimes you will get a little bit of bubbling if you do it too thick, so I would suggest doing some thinner coats. So that's this one. Then we have Pinky Ring, and it's about this time of year that I really start craving those pinks. I love to wear pink in the winter and the spring and the summer. I usually do take a break from pink in the fall to wear some of those darker moody tones, but when January comes, I'm like so ready to wear pink again, and sometimes in December too. But anyway, this is a mid-tone pink, and it is a cool toned pink. Essie has quite a few pinks like this. This one does have a beautiful 2-coat formula, and it's hard for me to tell if it has a little bit of that shimmer in it. I do not think it does, but then sometimes I look at it, actually I think it does. I think it does. Obviously it's very subtle. So let's look at the comparisons that I have. I compared it to All Dolled Up, one of my favorite pinks. That one's slightly brighter. So Pinky Ring is kind of bright, but it's not super bright. So I feel like Dolled Up is a little bit brighter. And then OPI Hi Barbie is a little darker, and then Mod Square is a bit brighter. So I feel like I do kind of like in the winter these bright pinks, and then I like to get even more bright as we go on from spring to summer. So that's fun. Anyway, I really liked this one, even though there's a ton of pinks out there. Not sure we need more, but maybe we do. Then we have Multi-Faceted, and this is a mauve color. It's more of a deep mauve, but it is a little bit muted and a little bit moody. And then it has this gold, kind of an antique gold shimmer in it, which is really interesting. It's really different, at least from anything that I feel like I have. So I do find it unique. I will say, and this is not a bad thing, it just reminds me of my grandma because she loved mauve and she loved gold. Like, she always had a spray can of gold paint and she would spray everything with that. She just loved gold. She'd spray shoes, furniture, lots of different things. So this totally makes me think of her. It's definitely not a color that I would gravitate towards, but I do find it's quite unique and a little bit different. And so I'll let you decide if you want to get it, because you might like it. This might be your thing. But it's opaque in 1 to 2 coats. I do feel like this has a good formula. It's more opaque than I thought it was going to be, but that gold shimmer is really pretty. I feel like it's a good polish for fall or this time of year. Okay, let's look at those comparisons. So I compared it to Sorrento Yourself. That one's lighter, but has gold shimmer like Multifaceted does. And then Woven at Heart is more orange leaning and more subtle silver shimmer. And then Style Evolution is darker with subtle shimmer as well. So as you can see, I don't really have anything like it. I was kind of reaching to find polishes that I thought were kind of close, but they're not. So this one's definitely unique. And the last one we have is Statement Piece, and this is beautiful, you guys. I'm such a sucker for these kind of polishes. They're like purples, but they lean really, really blue. So you could even say it was a blue with a touch of purple. I don't know which way you look at it. I feel like it is more purple with a touch of blue, just because it's stronger, more purpley. Anyway, whatever you want to call it, it is fantastic. And the formula is really great on this one too. Almost opaque in 1 coat, but it just goes on so beautifully with 2 coats. And that's kind of how I prefer my polishes. I just love that type of formula. So let's talk about the comparisons. I compared it to Finding Me a Mannequin, and that one's close but more purple. I believe there's no shimmer in that. And there is a little bit of shimmer in this Statement Piece as well. And then All the Wave is a similar color and tone but darker. And then Butler Please is brighter, much brighter. So it's a little bit different. There's one that this really makes me think of, and I probably pulled it out and didn't compare it because it wasn't as close as these others. But I'm going to grab it because it's one of my favorite Essie polishes. It's Essie Pret a Surfer. So let me grab it just to refresh my memory because it's been a few weeks since I filmed the swatches of these. So hang on 1 second. Okay, so I pulled a few others out. I think you guys are going to want to see this comparison, so I'm going to sit down here in a minute and just swatch this one really quickly so you can see it, because they are pretty close, and it is pretty close to Pret a Surfer, and I don't think that I pulled it out. So I'm going to talk you through these here, and maybe they won't be in the same order, but you can just look at it on the picture and hopefully I'll remember and get it in the same order that I'm showing them. So compared to Pret a Surfer, I feel like it's a little bit close. I feel like Pret a Surfer has a little bit more white in the base, so it's a little bit lighter, and it's maybe a touch more purple. And I believe that one's a little bit hard to find, and my bottle's a little bit old too, but they're not exactly the same. And then I compared it to Sweet Retreat, and that one's more purple leaning, as you can see. And then Wink of Sleep is about the same as Sweet Retreat. So those are all really great polishes. I think after comparing it to these though, is that this one is definitely more blue. So lots of great ones there. I'm gonna pick my favorites, and it's just gonna be these 2. And even though there's a million polishes like this, these were my favorites. I'm a sucker for pink, and I'm a sucker for these, and I'm really in the mood for these now that winter's not even past us, you guys. It's kind of just beginning here, because it was like 40s and 50s all December with no snow. It was so dry, and then now we're getting a ton of snow, so it just really feels like winter. But I'm ready to just like get over the winter hump and get onto these fun bright shades. But guess what? You can still wear them to lighten your mood. Sometimes I do that. I pop on a nice fun bright color and it just improves my mood. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed that review. Thanks so much for watching. We will see you guys next time. Bye.